morning, traders. I'm Emily Bonney, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Monday, April 8th. The solar eclipse is said to boost the economy with billions in spending, but will the markets also see a boost? Today, markets are coming off an upbeat end to last week. On Friday during regular trading, the Dow jumped more than 300 points or 0.8%. The S&P 500 climbed 1.1%, and the NASDAQ advanced percent. Bill, let's get into a new week with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes. Good morning, Emily. I am watching the S&Ps. We're actually positive now. We're up 0.03%, which is good considering we were lower earlier this morning. That now we're showing less like gain. I'll take that. I mean, listen, markets are focused on the inflation data. That's coming out this week. We also have, the Fed meeting minutes. We got the big banks earnings reports that are happening later this week. So there's a lot going on here. Markets are kind of now pricing in the possibility of only 2 rate cuts in 2024, especially after the recent Fed speak. You had Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen in China over the last 4 days. She basically, warned China about the hazards of boosting production, specifically in the EV market and the solar panel markets when there's demand just isn't there. We saw JP Morgan release their annual reports and Diamond's letter to the shareholders saying that rates may stay higher for longer. That's keeping markets on edge this morning. But if you look at what's going on, there is some positive action going on. Look at the DAX; it's up 0.57% or 104 points. You're looking at the FTSE; it's up 15 points or 0.2%, and the CAC is up 47 points, 0.58%. So, in Europe, we are seeing some good gains. Europe does have an ECB meeting happening this week. And we're expecting some dovish commentary to come out of that, like them. For example, they may talk about a pending rate cut, happening in May. So we're going to keep close attention to the ECB announcement this week. In Asia was, mostly higher. It was, you did have the Nikkei jump 354 points. That's like 0.9%. You saw some, positive action in tech stocks in Asia, in autos as well. You look at the Hong Kong exchange; it was up 8 points or 0.05%. But China's Shanghai index that fell 22 points, which is 0.72%. The week ahead, we're going to get some central bank meetings from the Bank of Korea, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, the Bank of Thailand, and the Philippines. So, there's a lot of central bank action in Asia happening this week that you got to keep an eye on. And oil, remains, fluid. Oil is trading lower down this morning. WTI is at $86.37 a barrel. That's down 0.62%. And Brent is at $90.54. That's down 0.69%. The talk is that Israel and Hamas have delegates in Egypt. They're talking about a ceasefire. Market's still concerned about a retaliatory strike from Iran into Israel, but we'll have to keep an eye on that because that is remains a developing story. And there's a pipeline from Iraq to Turkey that is about to open up towards the end of the month. It's going to said to be delivering 350,000 barrels per day. So that could help weaken oil prices a little bit. But that's what I have for you in terms of morning notes this morning, Emily.
Bill, as we get into this Monday, a number of things there, like you mentioned, a lot of economic data markets are going to be focusing on this week, and earnings will pick up as we move through the week. But we'll start here with Monday. What is going on in terms of earnings action today, Bill?
Nothing happened Friday afternoon, and nothing happened this morning. There's nothing really scheduled for this afternoon. But tomorrow morning, you got things like Smart Global Holdings, ticker SGH, Sam Grace Henry. They have an EPS of 25 cents, and the expected move is 14.64%. PriceSmart, ticker PSMT, is also releasing tomorrow afternoon. Their expected move is 6.81%. And WD-40, WDFC, William David Frank Charlie, their EPS is $1.13, and their expected move is 9.36% when they release Tuesday afternoon, Emily.
And Bill, now on to the economic events of the day. Again, just a couple of things as we start Monday, but inflation data later this week, Fed meeting minutes, as you mentioned. So what is going on in terms of economic events?
But at 11 a.m. there's this consumer inflation expectation. It's not a major report, but at 6 p.m. this evening, we're going to be hearing from Minneapolis Fed Bank President Neil Kashkari. Um, this will affect markets overnight and into the morning, but that's really what we have in terms of on the docket today for economic reports. Pretty light.
Pretty light today, and you're going to keep track of other market moving information. Even with a little bit of a slowdown in earnings action and economic events on this Monday, there's still plenty of other market moving information to be keeping track of. And Bill, you're doing that using your NewsWare, breaking it down into alerts, looking at things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, other catalysts. You're grouping your stocks together, your FANG stocks, your Dow 30 stocks. So what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
Just doing a quick data check on my Dow. I got 13 higher, 12 lower, the rest unchanged. Looking at my FANG stocks. Yeah, it's mixed. Seen some gains in Tesla, Netflix, and Amazon. The rest are showing, slight lower. We'll see if those gains hold. In terms of some of the news hidden behind the tape this morning, like Google, Maryland passed two privacy bills aimed at restricting tech platforms from harvesting and using personal data of consumers, specifically children. There's news out that Meta was considering a bid to buy Simon and Schuster for AI training. Buying a publisher makes sense. Netflix, JP Morgan raised their price target on Netflix this morning to 650. That's why you've seen the stock trade higher this morning. Tesla, there's news out on Tesla that says that the maker of electronic cars and trucks will be unveiling its long-awaited robo-taxi on August 8th. So that's causing a little bump up in the shares this morning. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, IBM is expanding cloud infrastructure in Canada with a new Quebec facility. Boeing, ticker BA, the FAA is probing the loss of an engine cover on a Southwest Airlines Boeing jet. Apparently that happened over the weekend. It lost a cover to an engine, so it had to return back to the airport. I still am questioning, was there, this is a Boeing issue or is this an airline's maintenance issue? I mean, the airline maintenance guys should be seeing this, but they're not. They're just typically blaming Boeing, and Boeing's shares are off 1% due to this. Microsoft, ticker MSMT, they announced a new artificial intelligence hub in London. ChatGPT is said to have 600,000 individuals paying for the business version of its ChatGPT. So, that's positive. In terms of merger news, International Paper, ticker IP, they could be announcing an all-stock deal this week to acquire DS Smith out of London. Dacumu, that's ticker DCO, David Charlie Oscar, they confirmed receipt of an unsolicited non-binding indication of interest from Albion River for $60 a share. In terms of guidance news, AZZ Corp, AZZ Inc., Apple, Zebra, they raised their 2025 adjusted EPS to $4.50 to $5. Street estimate was $4.69. That's positive. In terms of shareholders events going on, Goodyear Tire and Rubber, ticker GT, Grace Time, they're having a shareholders meeting today at 4:30 p.m. in United Airlines. United Airlines was scheduled to have an Investors Day on May 1st, but they pushed it back. Now they're talking about a date in the fall. It has me a little concerned. I'm a little worried about that. In terms of catalyst calls, MIR, ticker Michael India Richard, this is Marion. Citibank opened up a 90-day positive catalyst watch on the stock. And that's what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. It is now that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, what do you have for us to start this week?
I'm thinking Tesla, ticker TSLA, Tom, Sam, Larry, Apple. That news about the pending announcement of robo-taxis, it should have a positive effect on the stock today. Uber and Lyft, they're trading lower on this news, but Tesla should be able to gain some market share this morning. Now, I'm still very cautious. I'm still highly cautious on the stock. I mean, you look at yesterday's Friday's call volume, 1,857 calls traded versus 1 million 1 million 988 puts. That's negative. I mean, the fact is that it's a lot of concerns into the stock going into the earnings, and major brokers are not really confident on it. They're very cautious on it. But today it's all about the robo-taxi announcement, and if I can get into the stock 168 or under, I think we'll see some gains because I can see the stock trading above 170 today. So that's my pick of the day: Tesla, ticker TSLA, on the robo-taxi announcement.
Keeping a watch on Tesla today on that news item. And coming up, we're going to take a look back on Friday's pick of the day to see how that went. So don't go anywhere. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
I see ticker YOU, that's Clear Secure. They're extending their agreement with American Express, ticker AXB. MDT, Michael David Tom, Medtronics, they reported positive trial safety data. Taiwan Semiconductor, ticker TSM, Tom, Sam, and Michael, they're getting up to $6.6 billion in direct funding for their Arizona plant from the U.S. government. Spirit Airlines, ticker SAVE, Sam, Apple, Victor, Edward, they're going to furlough approximately 260 pilots effective September 1st. They're saying it as a result of the grounding of the aircrafts due to the Pratt and Whitney engine. These are Airbus planes. Teva, ticker TEVA, Tom, Edward, Victor, Apple, they presented data from 8 studies at a schizophrenia conference over the weekend. Bristol Myers Squibb, ticker BMY, Boeing, Michael Yellow, they presented new interim long efficiency data at the same conference. Alibaba, ticker BABA, they announced a new pricing strategy for international customers. Apple, the iPhone maker, urged a U.S. appeals court on Friday to overturn a U.S. Tribunal decision to ban imports of some Apple watches in a patent dispute with Massimo. That's all I'm seeing this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we sign off and dive into trading on this Monday, let's do that check-in on Friday's pick of the day, which was RTX. On Friday, Bill, without really a lot of major catalysts going on, you were sifting through your data and information and news and picked RTX on a defense play. I saw it in the morning and it climbed throughout the day. It's even up a little bit again this morning. Bill, how did your call work out?
Yeah, RTX worked well. I mean, the fact of the matter, just look at the numbers. Stock opened up at $99.45 and hit a high of 101.79. It's much greater than the 1%. It's more like 2%. And it closed at 101.69. And you look at the stock this morning, 101.84. That's even higher than than Friday's high. So yeah, it was a very good pick. And listen, they make a lot of these missiles, and you get this Israeli, and Iran thing going on. So yeah, RTX is good. Defense stocks was a good play on Friday. It was a good sector to be long. So I was positive. I was happy with the results.
A win, a good play there, Bill. And we will check in with you tomorrow about today's Tesla pick of the day to see how that goes. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning this week at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Bonney, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.